Yes, you're welcome once more to our channel, the Supernovas TV on YouTube. If this is the first time we've come across that video, please subscribe to this channel and give us a like. We're also active on Facebook, okay, the Supernovas Academy. Okay, we revise likely questions in physics, chemistry, mathematics. We teach from the basics and also that you understand these subjects. I know that these subjects are not actually difficult. Okay, now we talked about English language, how to prepare in the last video. Talk about the novel, how to prepare, how to read, and also other sections in your English examination. How to prepare for each section. Okay, you have a grounded knowledge. All right, then today we're talking about chemistry. Okay, a lot of students believe chemistry is so broad and they can't finish up, they can't read everything in chemistry, so they just stop where their efforts or where their energies. Okay, stop. That's where they stop. They just give up. Actually, you can have 100 in chemistry. Okay, now how do you prepare for chemistry? You have topics. Okay, different topics. You have to answer or you have to study each topic. Now, there's a book, Fat Success. Okay, the book is actually helpful. It revises questions in this subjects topic by topic. So let's say you go to the particulate nature of matter. Particulate nature of matter. You have the atoms, molecules, you have the ions, you have atoms that made up protons, electrons, neutrons, and all that. And then after studying the topic, you pick your fat success and then you revise, let's say, 50 questions from the topic particulate nature of matter. Now, there's no way that after revising about 50 topics from for that topic alone, sorry, 50 questions for that topic alone, that you go into examinations and you still mess up. No, because as you're revising the questions, you're going back to the topic, you're going to revise, you're going to read some of the stuff again, and then you want to refresh your memory. Okay, so the fat success is actually good. Is you have to you need it kind of okay, and then let's go to the topics. You have a broad or a large number of topics to revise or to read in chemistry. You have separation techniques, okay, how mixtures can be separated. You have to go through each separation technique and what it entails. The difference in the physical differences that are meant to be separated. For example, distillation, you have difference in boiling point. You have to go through each of them that way. You have to go through the physical and chemical changes examples. Those are preliminary topics, but although you see how examples, question on the examples of physical change, chemical change, test for purity, melting and boiling point and all that. Okay, you also want to advance to, you talk about particular nature of matter. Okay, the scientists that worked on the atomic structure, J.J. Thomson, the Niels Bohr, the Rutherford, the experiments and the discoveries, okay, quantum numbers and all that. You want to also revise relative abundance, calculation of relative atomic masses, okay, and the molar mass percentage by mass of an element in a compound. Okay, there are many topics though, but I just want to go through to refresh your memory on what you need to study. Okay, and then we also have chemical combination, chemical bonding, interatomic, intermolecular bonding, types of bonding. Okay, and under each of them we have examples: covalent, electrovalent, dative covalent, hydrogen bonding, metallic bonding. You want to go through all these topics and understand them very well again. Okay, examples of compounds under each of them. Okay, and then we also have the acids, bases, and salts. Okay, calculation of pH, chemical properties of acids and bases, and examples of salts, the acid, the double salt, what they entail, actually examples of them. Okay, and then you want to revise carbon and its compounds. Okay, that's graphite and diamond and the amorphous forms of carbon. Okay, the structures, the properties that relates to the uses. Okay, you have kinetic theory of matter, how gases behave, how particles behave in solid, liquid, and gaseous state. Okay, and then evidence of kinetic theory. You have gas laws, you have Gay-Lussac's, you have Graham's law of diffusion. JAMB usually asks questions under those two. Specifically, Gay-Lussac's Graham's law of diffusion. You also have questions on the ideal gas equation and general gas equation. Okay, you know how to convert to the appropriate units and what STP means, how to use that in calculations. Okay, you have to revise all that. Okay, and also ideal gas equation, how ideal gases are different from real gases. Yeah. Okay, and then also you move ahead to reaction, chemical reactions, oxidation, reduction reaction, what they entail in terms of electron loss or gain, how to balance such reactions, how to detect loss or gain of electrons. Okay, and what's reducing agents, what's an oxidizing agent. Okay, examples of them. Okay, you also have to revise periodic table. Okay, the groups, the periods, the periodicity of atomic properties, the electron affinity, electronegativity, a whole lot of topics. But I'm just trying to bring them up for you. So as you're revising, you have to mark. Okay, as you're revising, then you have to pick the past question. Each topic, you attempt the questions under that topic. About 50, take note, about 50 questions per topic. 50 questions per topic. Okay, okay. You also have other topics like electrochemistry, that is electrolysis, electrochemical cells, and electrolytic cells. Calculations under each of them. What's liberated at the cathode at the anode, okay, for each electrolytic process. All right. Then you have chemical equilibrium. Factors that affect chemical equilibrium. Okay, that will move the position of the equilibrium to the right or to the left, like changing pressure, temperature. We do all this in, or we teach all this in the channel. So that's why I'm just revising them with you. So you can always, okay, go in and then get some videos for yourself from the channel and then watch and understand them better if you do not understand them at all. All right, and then you have the metals and non-metals, how to extract them from their ores. That's the metals, how to prepare the non-metals. Okay, you have chemical industry, heavy chemicals, fine chemicals. Okay, you also have rates of reaction. Okay, factors affect rates of reaction. You also have the energy heat changes, entropy keeps free energy when it's at equilibrium, when the reaction is spontaneous, and when it's spontaneous. Okay, and then what's entropy and what shows entropy, kind of. Okay, and then you have the almighty organic chemistry. Some persons actually write the exams and they don't have a handful of organic chemistry questions. Okay, questions on hydrocarbons. Okay, but you have to go through the topic very well. IUPAC nomenclature, how to name those compounds and how to prepare them. Alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, the aromatics. Okay, in terms of unsaturation, how they react to. Okay, you also have the alkanols, the alkanones, the alkanals, the alkanoids. Okay, their properties, mode of preparation, how they can be distinguished from each other. Okay, and I think those are the basic topics. If letting some topics slip off, you can always write topics in the comment section. Okay, but when you do this kind of revision, you go to the topic and then you pick a past question. You attempt about 50 questions per topic. It will be difficult for you to fail. Okay, because we're preparing to pass. I'm preparing to pass very well. Okay, so you go to the topic over and over again. You attempt a lot of questions under each topic. Then you now combine your efforts, like now attempt a whole series, like okay, the normal exam. Okay, normal examination, and then you see how well you perform. Okay, so in the next video, we're talking about physics, how to prepare yourself for physics. A lot of students are so scared of physics. Okay, the calculations are too much and all that. I won't be able to cope. Oh, I need someone to help me. No one's going to help you. It's only a preparation that will help you. All right, see you in the next video.